Says the Rambam. Yesterday we were talking about relationships between a Rav and a Talmud, the patience that a Rav has to have, and the Talmud has to also always be ready to ask. Lo yeh Talmud boshmei chaverav shelamdu bipam rishona o shniya hu lo lamad. Sometimes, I see everybody else understood, but I didn't get it, so I shouldn't be embarrassed. Again, it doesn't mean that every time, let's say somebody's going to stop the Rebbe every 14 seconds, that's also not a good thing. Some questions are for Shir and some questions are for after Shir, but it should definitely be asked at some point. But a person shouldn't be embarrassed from their friends who got it earlier, and he did it. If you are, then you're not going to learn. And you're not going to grow. There's always our minds work differently. Let's say it this way. Our brains work differently. Sometimes there are some sugyas that are easier for us to get and harder for other people. And there are other sugyas that are harder for me to get and easier for others. And something like, what's so hard? But our brains, we're all wired differently. So we just have to make sure that if there's something that we don't understand, we have to try to express it and do our best to understand it. Right, the Baishan, a student who is too embarrassed to ask, won't be able to learn properly, and the Kaptan, the one who is very strict, shouldn't be a teacher. Shouldn't be a teacher. Is the limit we said yesterday. If the students didn't understand anything, because of the depth of the topic, or the the level of their IQ, meaning there's objective challenges, which makes it hard to get. But what if the Rebbe sees that they didn't get it because they didn't prepare properly, and they didn't do what they were supposed to do, and they were negligent, and they become soft. They didn't understand because it's their fault. You have to, I'll translate the words, even though I don't think this is what we do nowadays. One has to get angry and even embarrass them to sharpen them. Gemara says in one place, you should throw, literally bar something bitter, but it should be scary. There should be mora, right? In the days of old, you could think the Rosh Hashiva, it was a mora Rav, right? There always has to be a visible line. All right, it applies to as close as a rabbi and a rebbe and even a parent has to be with a child and with a student. Is also that invisible line that always has to be there. And the Rebbe always has to know it, and the student always has to know it. And the parent always has to know it, and the child always has to know it. We live in a generation where, it's good to be buddy-buddy. And it's good to schmooze, and it's good to, just be close and Hamish, which is great. But as the Rambam emphasizes here, there also has to be a little, always the boundary, the border. There always has to be an invisible boundary there. Therefore, says the Rambam, Ein ra'ui l'rav lino kalos rosh b'pnei talmidim. Rav shouldn't be a kalos rosh. Be levity and act in a very silly way in front of his students. He says here not to eat and drink with them. So that's something that I think I've seen Rabbim Ugdolim eat and drink with their Talmidim. Rav Shechter sometimes eats in the cafeteria years ago. You have to know the society. It's not an Isser per se. In the days of old, if a Rav ate or drank with you, that wasn't accepted. Now it is. Rambam sounds like if there's more ema, then they'll put the Rebbe on a Rav on a platform, and they'll be able to learn from them easier. Again, it starts with this line of recognizing the Rav and the Talmud in each of their positions, And if that's recognized, so then the relationship and the growth can happen. Again, it's the Rebbe. We spoke about this last Wednesday night, right? The uniqueness and the special quality of the Rebbe-Talmud relationship, right? That's what Korach rejected. Korach wasn't interested in, but that's what the Rambam talks about at length here. The beautiful elements of the Rebbe and the Talmud relationship. Okay, so this is Dalid Hey. Dalid Hey. What kind of questions to ask the Rav? That we'll have to get into next time. Halachas about the questions of the Rav as we continue. Okay. Let us get into our sugya. Let's get back into our packet, which we started yesterday. Everybody with us? So I think we're only missing Mikey. Mikey. Okay, is that it? Everybody else that Shlomo is here, Yosef, and good. Okay. Well, some of you are on your phone, maybe, so that you can't look. I can see all the pictures. Okay, here we go. So the sugya of Gosses. The sugya of Gosses, which the Gemara says, Kuf, Chav, Zayin, Amapes, even according to Rabbi Meir, why do you need Yakir? For the time, the property that he's going to get when he's a Gosses. Because when he's a Gosses, he can't be Kona. So the question is why? Why can't he be Kona? So we saw different formulations in the Rishonim. The Rashbam, right here. The Rashbam. Eino Yachol Ladaber, Ein Bakoach Litain. So we weren't sure. What does that mean? Practical, fundamental, Rashi Kedushin, Lav Bar Matana. That sounds like more fundamental, right? The Rashba had both deos here. So what's the issue and what's the evidence? So let's go through the evidence. We'll start off with Maseches Machos. Did everybody open up a Maseches Machos yesterday? I hope so. In the back of Avodah Zarah, Maseches Machos, the beginning of Maseches Machos. Again, remind me, please, to tell you a hashkafic vart about the beginning of Maseches Machos at the end of the sugya. Probably not going to get to that until next week, probably Sunday or so. But if you see, the beginning of Maseches Machos is also called Avel Rabasi, right? That's the other name. Avel Rabasi, Nikra Maseches Machos, Perek Rishon, right? So there are 3 lines of a brisa that's quoted on the top of Maseches Machos. What is that brisa doing there? Let's have a great vart on that. That's not for now. But Perek Rishon, these are brisas. It says Maseches Machos, Gosses, Arayu Kachai L'chol Davar, La'olam. Gosses is alive. Someone who is in the throes, as long as they're still breathing, as long as they're still alive, they're halachically alive. But what are the examples given? So these are going to be important for later. Let's just go through some of the examples. Zokek liyibum. What does that mean? Zokek liyibum. Zakuk, or what does zokek liyibum mean? He's the only brother left over that's still alive. The woman cannot get remarried because this is a brother. If her husband has no brothers, then she can get married to whoever she wants. There's no chiv of yibum. But let's say there's one brother and this is the only one, and he's a gosses. She's still stuck. So zokek liyibum, upoter min hayibum, right? If there's a child, even a gosses, uma'achil betruma, and let's say a person's a gosses and he has avadim. His avadim are solari truma, uposel betruma. If he is a child and his mother is a Bas Kohen. The Bas Kohen, she wants to, like, her husband died. She wants to go and eat truma from her father's house. If she has a child, she can't. So, posel betruma. V'nochel u'manchil. He gets Yerusha, and if he dies, he's manchil. V'chulu. This is the halacha of Gosses. So, what do you read that line? It sounds like, okay, Gosses is alive. Gosses is a live person for all intents and purposes. And that's what many and most Rishonim say. A Gosses is alive. The question is, though, if Gosses is alive, so then why can't he be Makneh? Why can't he be Koneh? What's the problem? Right? So let's keep going. We'll have to explain that. Let's keep going now to see all the Gemaras that we have in Metzeches Gittin. All the Gemaras in Metzeches Gittin. So I gave you, I think, three Gemaras in Metzeches Gittin that the Rishonim quote. Gemara, let's start off with Daf Ayin. Ayin Amud Beis. Ayin Amud Beis. What does the Gemara there say? Amar Rav Yehuda Amar Shmuel. Shachad Boshnayim Orov Shnayim V'Ramaz. Somebody who Rachmana Litzlan. He has his throat slit. He's going to die within a few seconds, or at least a few minutes. V'Ramaz V'Amar. Kisvu Gel Ishti. Right, again for my wife. Right? He doesn't. Why would people do this? Remember, there are many cases like this in Shas. A man does not want his wife to become an almana. Right? So that's why he tries to give a get to his wife before he dies. Because he doesn't want her to have to do yibum or chalitza. That's why he wants her to be a grusha instead of an almana. So he's about to die, and he says, write a get. You can write it. That's fine. A person could be mitzaveh get while he is a goses. I'm sorry. While he is shachad boshnayim or roshnayim. What would you call that? Yosef. So this is more of a case, you asked me yesterday, about treifa and goses. This we would call a treifa. There is some overlap in discussion amongst the Rishonim. Treifa, goses, shchiv meira is another category, but this is what we would call a treifa, let's say. You can write a get. Or, ra'uhu mikuyad otzalav tzliva. Basically, he's about to die, right? Somebody speared him or whatever it is on something. The Ramaz, what do you say? There are mortal wounds. This Gemara says if somebody has mortal wounds, he's allowed to write a get for his wife. He's allowed to command someone to write a get for his wife. Right? So, Natan, I'll take the question in a second. Let's just compile the evidence. So we have Goses is like a live person. That's the Brisa, beginning of Metzeches Machas. We have this Gemara that somebody shachad b'shnayim or rov shnayim, he could command somebody to try to get to his wife. I'll just add in the line. The Rashba on this Gemara is the crucial source I mentioned yesterday. The Rashba's lashon. It was at the sometimes when you read a bunch of Rishonim on the sugya, you have to pick out the one line that's added by the Rishonim. Says the Rashba. I find my Rashba. Says the Rashba. If somebody who has his throat slit could write a get, the command to write a get, kol shekain a goses. Kol shekain a goses, says the Rashba. This is worse than goses. A goses sometimes could get better. What does it say? Rov goses and lamisa. We'll see that Gemara soon. There's a miyut that don't die. A person whose throat is slit is not going to live. And even this person is able to write a get to his wife, to command to write a get to his wife. Right, I'll read you that lashon of the Rashba on this Gemara. Ve'ein lecha goses gadol mizeh, itfei adif mi goses. This is even stronger. The pa'amim shad goses misrape. A goses, a minority, does get better. And yet, he could command to write a get for his wife. So far, it sounds like Moses is alive. Yes, Natana, you got a question.
This case doesn't sound like it's a treifa, though, because Tosfos and Kedushin and the Rashba here say, Ein lecha gotses gadol mizu. So how can we say that this case wouldn't be a goses and say it's a treifa? Right.
Okay, again, how to define treifa is a little tricky. There's overlap, and sometimes we've shown him, use it in flexible ways. Just like here, goses, I think, is being used as an overlap with that. But you're right. Whether you call this a treifa or not, I think most Rishonim would call this a treifa, but they would also call it a goses, like the Rashba does here.
Is goses not the last part of being a treifa? Meaning, isn't goses like the last second before you die once you're a treifa? Meaning, a treifa becomes a goses, no?
Yes. Goses is at the last second. No, not the last second. It could be the last 3 days. I don't think it has to be the last. People could be gosses in for a little while, as we'll talk
So
about.
at what
Sometimes
point do
the
you
doctors-
transfer over from treifa
Yeah.
to goses? At what point
That's
do you
a good-
change from a treifa to
That's a good
goses?
question. I don't know if there is a specific moment, as we'll talk about. It could be a continuum that goes along, and we'll have to see. We'll have to see exactly whether there is a way to switch. Okay, so we have the Bryce in Mesechus Malchos. We have the Gemara Mesechus Gittin Daf Ayin. We have the Mishnah in Mesechus Gittin. Mishnah Gittin Chav Ches Amud Aleph. This is a crucial one. The Mishnah says, "Hamei v'get b'nichu zakein o chola." Somebody brings a get from Medinas Hayam, and the Baal was left very old or sick. Old or sick. No sin lo b'cheskas shu kayam. So you could still give the get, b'cheskas shu kayam. You could assume the husband is still alive. Because the husband died before the woman got the get, then it's an almana. Too late. The Mishnah says you could assume that the husband is still alive. Says the Gemara, Amar Rav lo shanu ela zakein shel yigil l'kuros dechola drove cholam l'chayim. Right, we're not going to talk about the zakein part now, but this is only by a chola. If you left the husband sick, then you can assume he got better. Rov cholam l'chayim. Aval zakein shehigia l'kuros, not us. The goses sherov goses in lamisa, lo. If the husband gave the shliach the get when he was a chola, then it works. But if the husband was a goses, so then you assume you cannot give the get. You cannot give the get. I'm giving you. Ask somebody else. Close the door, please. So if you left him, if he pointed as a goses, so then you cannot give the get. What's the pashtus? Why can't you give the get? The pashtus is that you assume. Somebody finish.
That he died.
That he died. You assume that he died. That's the pashtus. Meaning, what if you know that he's still alive? What if you know that he's still alive? The pashtus, the simplest way of reading this Gemara is that you'd be able to give the get. The only reason that Rov Cholin Lechayim Rov Gosin Lamisa, therefore you assume he died. But if you know that he didn't die, pashtus of this Gemara, that one can give the get, that would be okay. The only problem with goses is that you assume that he died. Fourth Gemara. Final source, then we'll try to put it all together. Fourth Gemara. Ayin Zayin. In the second to the last parak. Parak Hazorek. Ayin Zayin Amabeis. Now, this Gemara is about a shchiv mirah. How shchiv mirah the kasav lagito debisu. Bahari pani damali shabza. A man wrote a get to his wife on Friday. He didn't get to give it to her on Friday. Lo hispik lemesfale. He didn't get to give it to her. Lemachar takaf le'alma. The next day, what is takaf le'alma? That probably means Yosef, he became a goses. Takaf le'alma. The world became heavy on him. Rashi, Yor Tanyamus, exactly Liyavam. Also, Taltal get the Shabbos Lamosrala. He can't get. So what do? Also, the Rava. So they go through this whole description of how do you give the get. You enter the space, all these different things. But it seems clear from the Gemara that doesn't just seem clear. It is clear from the Gemara that even if Takaf Le Alma, you can give the get. And the pashas of Takaf Le Alma is that Goses. And the Gemara figures out how exactly he could give the get. What are we emphasizing? So as hopefully some of you saw all the Rishonim, there is a major machlokas Rishonim about Goses. Major machlokas Rishonim. Rov Rishonim, the Rush, and the Tosfos, and the Deos and the Rashba all say a goses is kechai l'chol davar, and he can give a get, and he can do a lot of other things. Goses is alive. That's the simple interpretation of all of these Gemaras. Ayin, Gittin Chavches, Gittin Ayin Zayin, Meseches Machos. The only thing that needs to be explained, according to these Rishonim, is what's the only source that's a little tricky. Well, let's just go through some of the sources, right? If you look in the Rashbam, again, review, the Rashbam and our Gemara. He can't talk, and therefore he can't be Makneh. Mashma, if he can talk, he can. Or the Rush in Meseches Kiddushin. Right, the Rush in Kiddushin, which I had. Where's the Kiddushin? Where I gave you Dalet Hazayin Kiddushin. The Rush goes through and says, Goses could do everything. As long as you know that he is clear of mind, Goses could do everything. Says the Rush. If according to the other Shita, which we'll get back to soon. Goses. I'm sorry, V'ri Omer, Shehu Kechai L'chol Dvara, V'kito Get, U'matanosa Matana, K'divrei Rashbam. Their biggest raya, Ayin Zayin. Right, the tubes that are cut, right? That is the strongest raya that there that there could be. Says the Rush, according to the Shitas. You don't get more of a gosei, same lashon that the Rashba used. In that case of Gittin Ayin Zayin, and you see, what are we emphasizing? What are we emphasizing this so much? Rabbi showed him say it. Because as you saw, Rabbeinu Yoel in the minority of Rishonim who say a goses cannot give a get. A goses cannot give a get. That's what they hold. Based on what's their one raya? What's the only raya that is on the other side? All the Gemaras we just did all point in the direction that it goes. He says kachai l'chol davar, and he could give a get, and it could be makneh, v'chulu v'chulu. What's the only Gemara that's on the other side? Somebody help me out. What's the only Gemara that needs to be explained according to the sheet of Rabbi Shonim? We alluded to this yesterday.
Is it our Gemara in Baba Basra?
Yes, our Gemara in Baba Basra. That's the only one that all these Rishonim have to say. And what about Baba Basra? Why? Because in Baba Basra, what does our Gemara say? The chasam that he got when he was a goses. Why didn't the Gemara just say chola? And he can't talk. Why does it dafka say goses? So the minority, Rabbeinu Yoel and the other Rishonim say, you know why he says goses? Because a goses cannot give a get. A goses can't be kone. A goses can't be makneh. Once you reach the status of the goses, they can't do it. Our Gemara is the one Gemara in Shas against all the other ones that they rely on. We're going to have to go through. How do they understand the other Gemaras? We're going to have to figure that out. But that's what he says. And their Lashon, let's read their Lashon. Their Lashon, we're going to have to give a svara for this. It's very challenging, as we'll see. The Achronim try to figure this out, but just the language of the Lashon. The Kaima one, the Rabbi Chanan, I'm reading the Rush now in Kiddushin. The Rov Gosses in Lamisa. Ukemes uchashuv. Rov Gosses in Lamisa. What does that mean? Most Gossesim will die, and then Ukemes uchashuv. They are considered dead. Really? Isn't that the fairish against the first Baisa? The Tzechas Machas? What did we just learn? How in the world could Rabbeinu Hananel and Rabbeinu Yoel say, Kemesu chashuv? How do they say that? Ve'eno yachol lahaknos achshav nachasim yibukchu goses. You can't do kinyanim. We talk zeh diktik Rabbeinu Yoel mibuna the goses eno magaris as ishto. Rabbeinu Yoel says a goses cannot divorce his wife. It's too late. Af apishum yusha b'daito. even though he's sound of mind, even though we know exactly what he's thinking. He's clear. Because he can't give it. Why can't he make a shliach? This is the sheet of Rabbi Yoel and Rabbi Hananel. He's considered dead. What does that mean? We will have to figure that out. We have to say something. I'll give you another source. I didn't mention this. It's not on your sources, but we're going to get into this. The Gemara says in Nazir, Mem Gimel. Nazir, Mem Gimel Amid Aleph. And a Kohen is not allowed to touch a gosses. A Kohen is not allowed to touch a gosses. Why can't a Kohen touch gosses? Or be in the OL of a gosses? So, the Mefarish, Rashi on Nazir is not Rashi. Well, the Mefarish, right? We assume it's not Rashi. The Mefarish says, Kivan Shehu Goses, Sofo Leos Chalal. Well, if he's a goses, then he's going to die soon. So, point, better not touch him. Kaimalan, Rov Goses and Lisa. That's the Mefarish. Kivan Shehu Goses, Sofo Leos Chalal. The rush on that, the rush is on the side of the page in Nazir. Listen to the rush's lashon as a contrast. The rush says, Shapir Mikri Chalal. Chalal means a corpse. Shapir Mikri Chalal. Kivan Derov Goses in Lamisa. What is that? What did he change? The Mefarish says, Sofo Leos Chalal, because Rov Goses in Lamisa. The rush says, Shapir Mikri Chalal. Even the Rov Goses in Lamisa. What does that mean? Right, what did he change? Right.
An eventuality into a reality.
Great wording. Great wording. Eventuality, the Mefari says, into a reality. Rhyming is also really cool, right? Eventuality to reality. I'm going to write that down. But again, that's exactly what the rush did from the Mefarish's shot. Second. What does that mean? He is alive. What do you do? So first, we're going to try to go through some of the sources. This is the more Mechudashita. You know what? Let's just do the small part first. Rov Rishonim don't agree with this. Rov Rishonim say a goses could do everything. So why does our Gemara say goses, not chola? What do the Rishonim say? How do they answer that? Why does our Gemara say goses, not chola? Because most gosesim are in a state where you can't talk. And most cholim you can. That's all, nothing fundamental. Right, look at that rush. Umasha hiksha. Why don't you just mention a mute? Why do you have to mention a goses? Lav kushu. Tikra the yakir. Lo matzah lupi achi. Okay. Meaning, it's not such a deal that it says goses instead of chola. The bigger problem is the other side. The bigger problem is, what do these Rishonim, Rabbi Yoel and Rabbi Hananel, quoted in the Rush in Kedushin, or Rashi in Kedushin? Remember we saw Rashi yesterday? What does Rashi say? A goses is ein matanaso matana. Why not? What if he is sound of mind? So first we're going to talk about the Marmakomos, and then we're going to try to get the Svara after that. So we might not get to the Svara today. You got to think about, how could they say they're considered dead? How could they say they're considered dead? They're alive. Let's talk about each of the sources. So what's the first source? Meseches Machos. Meseches Machos says, how are you kachai l'chol davar? How are you kachai l'chol davar? So how can they be considered dead? Yes. The tunnel. Yeah.
But doesn't the Rush say that, with regard to the Rabbeinu Yoel, that it's the kechai l'chol davar is only with things that are memela?
Here we go. Right now. That's what we're doing right now. Yes. So the Rush says, Rabbeinu Yoel, that let's go through. There are 4 Gemaras that we have to figure out what they mean. Meaning There are 3 Gemaras that seem to say that a Goses can give a get. How could Rabbi Yoel say he can't give a get? Right? How does that work? Right? That's going to be a big problem. Before we get to those, says the Rush. What about the first line? What about the first line of Mesechus Machos? Goses are Gechai l'chol davar. Says Rabbeinu Yoel, it's unbelievable. What are the examples given in Mesechus Machos? Right, so it doesn't just say Goses is Gechai l'chol davar, then it lists off 10 different things that he could do. It doesn't say Makneh. It doesn't say Makadesh. The examples aren't active things. Where's the line in the Rush? Hadatan b'toksefta, ahalot, mesechus machos, goses akayel chol davar, nochel, manchil. What are the examples given? He could inherit. He could passel for truma. He represents a brother for yibum. He represents a child. All of those examples are what's called dvarim d'memela. You don't have to do anything. You just have to exist. Says Rabbeinu Yoel and Rabbeinu Hananel, a goses exists. If you need to exist, he exists. But halachically, k'meisu chashuv. Halachically, k'meisu chashuv. Hani mili demidi dememela. Lo sheyase maisa. Monisina saget umakne. Le'inyin zeh avi k'meis gamor. Whoa. Regarding this, he's like a meis gamor. Okay, we don't know what that means yet. We're just trying to through the sources. Only for dvarim d'memela. But if you have to actually do something, then a goses is not strong enough. Goses is not strong enough. What about the Mishnah and the Gemara in Chavches in Gittin? Right? What did the Gemara say? If the husband gave the get when he was a goses to the shliach, you can't give the get because why? We assume that the person died. What do we machma? That if we knew that he was alive, then you can't give the get. That's how most Rishonim are medayik. Rabbeinu Yoel ben Chanal will say, no, I have another way to read the Gemara. Not that if you knew he was alive, you could give it. That's not the chiddush of the Gemara. Right? If you know he's alive, no. Says the, where am I reading it from? Here. Will anybody catch it? What did the Rush and the Rashba say? What's the diak? The diak is that you're right. In this case, the goses, as long as you know he's alive, you can give it. But not because a goses could give a tzivui to divorce his wife and it'll be good. You know why? Because when he made the shliach, he was healthy. And he wasn't a goses. Even if he's a goses now, it works because he wasn't a goses when he was mamana the shliach in the first place. That's the chiddush of the Gemara. Says Rabbeinu Yoel, a regular goses would not be able to command somebody. Mamana shliach. That Gemara on Chavches, it just means because he wasn't the goses when he appointed the shliach. That's all you need. That's all you need. Myri, this is also in the Rush. They are in Kiddushin. Myri kishakibal shliach haget kodesh hayagoses. Ukchalach shliach nasa goses. Aval b'sha'a to goses. Lo haya yachal laso shliach legarsha. Boom. What's the chiddush of that line? Again, this is not our topic now. What's the chiddush of that line? Farshim on the bottom pointed out Abraham, yeah?
That even if he becomes a goses, he could still give the get as long as he had sent it while he was bari.
Exactly, and just to add on one line, and even though right now he wouldn't be able to give a get, the shliach could give the get. Usually we have a principle. If you can't do something, you can't make a shliach to do something. Right now, the goses can't give a get. Rabbi Yoel is assuming it's okay. Once the process started, before he was a goses, right? He was memana the shliach before he was a goses, and only now he's a goses. That is enough. Okay, this is a major machlokas rishonim. Again, it's not our topic now. We discussed it last year. I'll just give you the two sources. Just to feel free to look it up. No, we don't. We have a different sheet tomorrow, but if you're looking at the Rambam in Ilchos Gerushin, Beis Tesvav. Did I put this on the Marmakomos? I don't think so. Rambam Gerushin, Beis Tesvav, against the tour in Even Ezer, Kuf Chaf Aleph. Right? They have a machlokas. If somebody becomes a shoteh after he makes the shliach, before he divorces his wife, the shliach gives the get. That's the machlokas Rambam and Tur. And the Gosses discusses that machlokas in Kuf Ches Beis. You want to analyze that more. But again, we're not going to go so much into that. But that's how the Rabbeinu Yoel, Rabbeinu Hananel would read that Gemara. That Gemara does not mean that a goses could always, if we knew he's alive, he could give the get. No, he knew he's alive, he could give the get because when he made the shliach, he was healthy. And when he made the shliach, he wasn't a goses yet. But a goses can't start the process. That's how you would read that Gemara. We still have in front of us the hardest one to explain. Which is the hardest source to explain according to Yeshitas? Again, Ayin Zayin also is not such a problem. There's Takafle Alma. They would say Takafle Alma doesn't mean Goses. That also doesn't bother them so much. What is the hardest Gemara to explain according to the Yeshitas? Rishonim, Rabbeinu Yoel, Rabbeinu Hananel, they say a Goses is not allowed to give a get. He can't give a get. Which Gemara seems to be mafurish against that? Which Gemara? Which is the hardest Gemara for them? Which the Maharit recognizes. The hardest Gemara is Itin Daf Ayin. Right? The case where a guy has his throat slit. Right? The Rosh says, there's no greater goses. And the Gemara says, Beferish, he can command someone to give a get to his wife. How in the world do you read that Gemara? That Gemara is Beferish. That's not a goses. It's more than a goses. Is Vada going to die? The Rashba says. So how do you read that Gemara? That is the Rishonim don't mention it. Rishonim don't defend. They don't explain how to read the Gemara. How to read this Gemara according to the Shitas, Rabbeinu Yoel, and the others. So what is how do you get out of this Gemara? It's very hard. Very hard. One suggestion, which we're going to spend some time on right now. Second. One suggestion is that of the Maharit. Anybody catch the Maharit? The Maharit, one of the early Achronim. I sent you a page of the Maharit, Chuvas Maharit. Chuvas Maharit. The Maharit also has Chuvas and has a commentary on the Rif on Kiddushin. That's how it's formulated. It's a separate sefer. The Maharit comments on the Rif on Kiddushin. It's a mafarish on Masechet Kiddushin. But that's what it's formulated out. So the Maharit has one line. The Maharit gives a svara, which we're not going to get into now. That'll be B'ez Hashem Sunday. The Maharit gives a svara. The svara for this sheet. But then it explains, what do you do with this Gemara? Fourth to last line, if you see it on your chat. Yahid shachat boshnayim tzarech iyun. I don't know what to do with this Gemara. Ishani lan bein goses bidei adam with goses bidei shamayim. Whoa. He quotes two types of goses. He's quoting a Gemara in Masechet Sanhedrin. The Gemara in Sanhedrin on Daf Ayin Ches. The Gemara there has a chiluk, an unbelievable chiluk. We have to talk a little bit about the svara for this. Two different types of goses. Bidei Adam, Bidei Shamayim. What is the Maharit trying to say before we even do the Gemara? Right? What's the case over there in Gittin? That's the case where he was stabbed. That's the case where somebody slit his throat. So maybe there, this is what the Maharit is trying to say. Maybe Gosei Spidei Adam, that's someone who is still allowed to write a get, the command to write a get. Rabbeinu Yoel and Rabbeinu Hananel, those shittas are only by Gosei Spidei Shamayim. Gosei Spidei Shamayim, let me just put words into his mouth. This is what he's trying to say. Gosei Spidei Shamayim is considered dead. Gosei Spidei Adam is not considered dead. Where does he get this from? Gosei is a Gosei. He's about to die. It was based on a Gemara in Sanhedrin. Gemara in Sanhedrin. Gemara in Sanhedrin tells us, let's say somebody murders a Gosei. What's the halacha? Somebody's a Gosei and somebody else comes and murders them. So the Gemara says it depends what kind of Gosei. Gosei Spidei Shamayim, guy is chayiv misa. Gosei Spidei Shamayim. Somebody murders a Gosei Spidei Shamayim, they're chayiv misa. Estin will put them to death. Which, by the way, Yosef, if somebody kills a treifa, they're not put to death. It already shows there's a difference between Gosei and a treifa. Gosei Spidei Shamayim, somebody kills a Gosei Shamayim, it's an important Gemara. You have to see it inside. They are chayiv misa. What about if somebody kills a Gosei Spidei Adam? Machlokes. Machlokas. Some say no difference. Gosei is Gosei. There is a shita. We paskin like the shita. Only if somebody kills a Gosei Spidei Shamayim is he chayiv misa. But if he kills a Gosei Spidei Adam, Esdin will not put him to death. If Ruvain makes somebody a Gosei, and then Shimon comes and finishes the job, Shimon is not put to death. Even though if Shimon would have killed a stam of Gosei in a hospital, he would be put to death. What do you see from that Gemara? Simple interpretation. What's the pashtus of that Gemara? Why would it be? How is the Maharit understanding that Gemara? How is the Maharit understanding that Gemara? What do you see from that Gemara? The Maharit says, somehow a Gosei Spidei Adam is more alive. No. A Gosei Spidei Adam is less alive than a Gosei Spidei Shamayim. Chayav Misa if you kill a Gosei Spidei Shamayim. Gosei Spidei Shamayim, they're considered alive. Gosei Spidei Adam, did I just mix it up? I mixed it up. I'm sorry. I mixed it up. Maharit's trying to explain that Gemara. Gosei Spidei Adam. Gosei Spidei Adam. As the Gemara says. I'll read you the Gemara so I don't get confused. Amarava. Gosei Spidei Shamayim Chuchayev. If somebody kills a Gosei Spidei Shamayim, then he's chayev. The machlokes is by Gosei Spidei Adam. If you kill a Gosei Spidei Adam, that's the machlokes. So the Maharit tries to use this chilik to say that's why when does Rabbeinu Yoel, Rabbeinu Hananel say their shita that Goseis cannot give a get? That's only by Gosei Spidei Adam, Bidei Shamayim, right? But by Bidei Adam, the case of Gemara, in Daf Ayin, what's he trying to explain? It's in Daf Ayin. The guy had his throat slit. He's able to give a get. He's called alive. He's called alive. That's what he tries to have that chilik between Gosei and Gosei Shamayim.
Could you repeat the Gemara in Sanhedrin?
Gemara in Sanhedrin
says,
Gemara says that if you kill a Gosei Spidei Shamayim, then you're chayiv misa. Gosei Spidei Adam is a machlokas. Gosei Spidei Adam is a machlokas. So what does that Gemara seem to say? There's a shita that says if you kill a Gosei Spidei Adam, you'll be patur. The Gosei Spidei Adam is already considered dead. Isn't that exactly the opposite of what the Maharit is trying to say? The Maharit is trying to explain that she'd never been a Yoel in the Rush. Right? What did he say? Maybe only the Gemara in Daf Ayin, that's where he can give the get. But that's Gosei Bidei Adam. Because he did Shamayim, that's where he can't give the get. Why? Because Gosei Bidei Shamayim is already considered dead. But the Gemara here seems to be going in the opposite direction. So before we answer this, one more question. Again, the next couple of sources I didn't give you. I want to give you time to look at it. Let me just introduce the problem. Gemara in Sanhedrin, if I would ask you, who is more alive, so to speak? Gosei Bidei Shamayim or Gosei Bidei Adam? Yeah, some of you, I think I might not have seen this Gemara yet, so I'm not going to go too much further. I want you to see the Gemara, Sanhedrin, Daf Ayin Ches. Let me just give you one more Gemara and try to compare the two Gemaras. There's a Gemara in Nazir, right? This was not on your sheet. I'm adding it now. Nazir Dalet Amabes. Nazir Dalet Amabes. The Gemara is trying to figure out a Nazir Shimshon. Nazir Shimshon. If somebody says, I want to be a Nazir Shimshon, what's the halacha? He can't drink wine, can't cut his hair, he's allowed to become a mace. Nazir Shimshon is only 2 out of 3. How do you know that Shimshon became a mace? That's what the Gemara is trying to figure out. How do you know the Gemara became a mace? So the Gemara says, the bottom of the base. You know, I did be a mason. I hit 1,000 men. Who says he killed them? Maybe he just scared them. Maybe he cut them up. Maybe he didn't kill them. He smote 30 men. He smote them. Doesn't that mean he killed them and therefore he became a mace? He smote them. Says the Gemara. The Gosses in Shavian. Whoa. Maybe he didn't kill them, he just made them into Gosses. That's what smote means. Maybe he only made them into Gosses. And therefore, what's the Gemara saying? They weren't Tamei Mace. So it's no raya that Shimshon was Matami himself. Because maybe he only made them into Gosses. And therefore, he wouldn't become Tamei Mace. The Rishonim here ask, for 1 second, didn't we just learn before? I mentioned it, Nazir Man Gimel, even a Nazir and a Kohen are the same thing. Even a Nazir Kohen can't touch a Gosses either. Even if they made him into Gosses. Even if Shimshon made them into Gosses, he's not allowed to touch them. Tosfos right here, out on my base. Tosfos says, it means he almost made them into Gosses. Harov to a Gosses. Okay. Lab dafka Gosses. Nazir also liga Gosses. El Chomer Karov Gosses. Says the Rush. Look at this Rush. Not on the side of the page. But it's in the Shita Mukubetzes in Nazir. There's a little Shita Mukubetzes on Nazir. So in there, he quotes the Rush right here, which says, I have a different answer to Tosfos' kasha. What is Tosfos asking? Even if you made him into a Gosses, he's not allowed to touch them. Says the Rush. Bidei Shamayim, Bidei Adam. Shimshon is allowed to touch them. You're allowed to, a Kohen is allowed to touch a Gosses Bidei Shamayim. Which way? No, one that he did. A Gosses is a Kohen and a Nazir is allowed to touch a Gosses Bidei Adam. That's why Shimshon will be mutter. Gemara over there is only Gosses Bidei Shamayim. That's what's also we're going to touch. That's the Rush. Look in the Marit Chayes on this Gemara in Nazir Dav Dalet in the back. He says it's Beferish against the Gemara in Sanhedrin about which is considered more alive, which is considered less alive. Bidei Adam, Bidei Shamayim. Look what the Marit Chayes says. I'm not going to tell you. Look what he says. It's the Marit Chayes in the back on Nazir Dav Dalet and Beis. He quotes the question of the Chassam Sofer that the Rush is against the Gemara. Map it out on a sheet. Right, with your chavrusei after this, map on the sheet. According to the Gemara Sanhedrin, which one is considered, let's say, more alive? Bidei Adam, Bidei Shamayim. And then we'll have to think about, what do you mean more alive? Aren't they both like about to die? Why should one be more alive, less alive? So we'll have to see how the Maharit's approach is going to work. This is all trying to figure out, what are we going to go into all of this for? We're all trying to figure out, what in the world does half the Rishonim, Rabbeinu Yoel, Rabbeinu Hananel, Rashba, what do they do with the Gemara in Gittin Davayin? The Gemara in Gittin Davayin says, Beferish, if somebody has their throat slit, they can still command a person to give a get to their wife. They say a goses can't give a get to their wife. How do you read that Gemara? So the Maharit had this suggestion, 2 different types of gosesin. We'll have to see if it really works. Okay? So we'll